We are live once again here on the Planet Philly stream. A little different today. A little different. It's not going to be too long. We've talked enough. We've talked enough about this team. The Philadelphia Eagles play in their fourth Super Bowl in franchise history on Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. There's not much else to be said at this point. All the storylines, Andy Reid, the Kelseys, Mahomes versus Hurts, the defenses, the trenches, the offensive lines, the running backs, Mahomes, Hurts, everyone. The Eagles could begin their golden era with a win on Sunday. This is a team that has been dominant all year. I get, I hear the arguments of strength of schedule, whatever. They're in the Super Bowl. The Eagles won their first Super Bowl just 5 years ago. 2017 season, 2018 was the year they actually won it. 5 years it's been since that glorious, glorious day in Philadelphia history, not just Philadelphia sports, not just Philadelphia Eagles, in Philadelphia history. The Eagles won their first Super Bowl. Doug Peterson was the head coach. Nick Foles was the starting quarterback. The Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman era is turning out to be probably the golden era. No, not probably. The golden era of Philadelphia Eagles football. What Howie Roseman has been able to do in such a short amount of time after firing their first Super Bowl winning head coach, after getting rid of Nick Foles, moving on from Carson Wentz, admitting that Carson Wentz was a mistake, the turnaround, firing Doug Peterson after an awful season just a couple of short years ago, drafting Jalen Hurts in the second round, making him the starting quarterback. And just last year, this was a first-round exit team. They went 9-8, got to the playoffs as a wild card team, were knocked out by Tom Brady. Then this year, this past offseason, I should say, Howie Roseman went to work. He went to work. He filled gaps that needed to be filled. He improved this team greatly, signing free agents, drafting well over the past few years. We're entering the golden era of Philadelphia Eagles football with where the Eagles stand. They have 2 first-round picks heading in next year, and they're in the Super Bowl right now, led by a 24-year-old quarterback who was benched in the national championship game at Alabama in college. Now, if I said that statement just a few years ago, I think you would call me crazy, absolutely nuts. But here we are. Here we stand today. And with where the Eagles are at, with their roster, with who's in charge, with the head coach, with the GM, with the owner, there is no reason for this team to have any type of significant downfall over the next couple of seasons. This team should be a competitive team every single year, a contender every single year for the next few years at the very least. They have a young core with a young quarterback who's going to get paid. They have star receivers in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, an offensive line who is a rock. They've been a rock all season long. Lane Johnson's going to stick around for a couple more years. You might end it with Kelce, but you have Cam Jurgens waiting in the ranks. Landon Dickerson already turning out to be one hell of a draft pick. And Jordan Mailata, the rugby player at left tackle, who has just become a dominant force. This team can compete for seasons and seasons to come now. This team is built to be a contender. And that's why they're here this year. You could hear all the naysayers talk about, oh, they haven't played anybody. This team's built to win. And they just needed a quarterback. And they found that quarterback in Jalen Hurts. Sunday they'll be taking on the best, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, old foe and Andy Reid. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. They're not no slouch of a team. They're in the Super Bowl for a reason. Patrick Mahomes in his third in just 5 years starting. It's going to be a classic in my eyes. It's going to be a classic game, but it's also going to be a game where the Eagles become a franchise with multiple Super Bowl rings at their helm. The Eagles are going to win on Sunday. The Eagles are going to win. You bet it. Right now, the Eagles will win this game on Sunday. I truly believe that. This is how good this team has been all year. Jonathan Gannon's defense, Unreal. What an improvement from last season, just 1 year ago. Second-year head coach in Nick Sirianni. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? As Kansas City Chief fan Paul Rudd would have said. This is a really good team, and the Eagles are set up for a long time here. Yes, they have a couple of free agents heading into the season, and I'm using couple, that word lightly. There's a lot of free agents heading into this offseason. But do you trust who's at the top? I certainly do, and you should too as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Howie Roseman turned this team around like that. It's been unbelievable to watch. This team is ridiculous. They have so much talent on both sides of the ball. They're going up against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and you couldn't write a better script unless someone already did. But I'm just kidding. Those funny memes, the script memes. But it's going to be a fun game. The Eagles are going to win on Sunday. You should be confident in this football team going forward. Even after the game, win or lose, you should be confident in this franchise going forward. But they're going to win on Sunday. This is you're going to be in the midst of the golden era of Philadelphia Eagles football. Starting back when Howie Roseman got his job back. That's kind of when it started. And now it's just going to continue. And I think this team is set up for the future, and they're set up for this Sunday to be a Super Bowl champion once again. Final score is going to be 31-24. That is my prediction. And welcome to the golden era